Good morning, YouTube. It's Brendan from Market Makers. Guys, Pro Trades video. We had our Bitcoin video out late last night. I'll do another video later today, but the pump had began, the pump that we've been predicting in Wyckoff. I want to show you the other markets because I track everything in Wyckoff, including metals, including oil, commodities, everything, okay? Because it's so valuable for predicting market movements. By popular request, I'm going to be doing a weekly Wyckoff live stream in the Discord channel, as well as we have our normal live streams. We added 2 harmonic live streams as well from our professional harmonic pattern trader, block state updates, an Elliott Wave professional trader. All of my traders are professionals, meaning they do this full time. So if you guys are interested in TA, trade signals, and an awesome community, check out the Discord link in the video description. We're going to look at the Russell, the SPX, the NDX. Why am I looking at the Russell? Because who cares about the Russell, right? The Russell is the high growth, low revenue, very low revenue in some cases, index. And the reason it's important to track is if you look at history, in 1928, the lower price junkie index versus the S&P. In 1928, the junkie index went up 80% in 1928, the year before the crash. The S&P went up 40%. The day before the crash in 1929, the junkie index was down minus 30. The S&P was still up 40. The S&P tends to hold its strength to almost the very end. We saw this same pattern repeat in 2000. The Nasdaq in a period of 6 months went up 50%, 50%. The S&P and the Nasdaq then declined over the next 3 years. When the crash began, the Nasdaq went down 82%, Amazon went down 92%, the S&P went down 50%, but the S&P held its strength to the very end. Fast forward to late 2020, the Russell, the R2K, US 2000 went up 50%, just like the Nasdaq, but the Russell did it in 3 months, not 6 months. It peaked out in February, what's the exact date here? February 8th, February 9th, where we started going sideways in Wyckoff distribution. And all of 2021, the whole of 2021, you made no money in the Russell. You had an up thrust up here, big sign of weakness. Meanwhile, the SPX moved at 2 to 3 times normal beta and made 30%. Okay, the exact same pattern and cycle from 1928, from 1972, and from the dot-com crash. The high flyer junkier index made massive gains, short period of time, euphoric boost in the market, whereas the S&P then picked up a lot of steam the following year. It's a very, very interesting pattern in the markets. It's a rare pattern, but it's very interesting and worth tracking. So the Russell is still weak, okay? This has all the meme companies. It has a lot of companies that don't make any money, and it's still weak. But, you know, the markets are so volatile. They're very volatile based off news. Russia's pulling back troops. The markets are more excited. In America, we have this concept called a blow-off top. That is when you get this euphoric rise in all the markets. You get a blow-off top, and then they fall apart. Now, everybody, I mean, literally everybody that's worth their salt, except people on business channels, will tell you that the markets are highly overvalued. I showed you guys this Shiller PE index. Let's look at that again really quickly. Right now, and this is very kind in my opinion to the S&P. This is a 10-year PE. We are at 37.18. In the dot-com crash, we were about 44. On Black Monday, we were down here, whatever that is, 18. The thing is, being at 37.18, the mean, even according to the Shiller 10-year PE, the mean here in median, we should be about 16. So we are more than, we have set ourselves up to be cut in half by literally the same thing that happened in 2008 and 2000. Looks like it's going to repeat for the SPX. And if the SPX gets cut in half, you're looking at these other indexes. I mean, like I said, the Nasdaq has a history of going down minus 82% because there's a lot of high growth Cathy Wood companies that don't make any money are in the Nasdaq, and a lot of overvalued companies. Tesla is the most heavily optioned stock by far. Okay, Tesla's a fantastic company. I have some stuff on order with Tesla, including a Starlink satellite. A fantastic company, but overvalued. They went up 8 times over earnings, okay, in a single year off of a 30% gain in sales. So overvalued company, everything's overvalued. Super bubble, guys, super bubble. Let's get into the TA before I keep ranting. Let's look at the Russell. So we have our Wyckoff. Let me zoom in here a little bit so we can look at, we're going to look at these things on the daily. So here we are on the daily. What is happening with the Russell? The Russell has a lot of resistance here at the 1 fib, as you can see, okay? That's the 1 fib, and we hit it up a couple times. We wicked through it, got supply dumped on us, forming what could be our LPS, our last point of support here before we try to trade up. I'm looking at the 1618 for the Russell, which is 21.95. I have a bearish white swan here. This is the golden ratio. If you flip this, that's super bullish, but that would be putting Russell back into the distribution box. The markets would have to get very euphoric for the Russell to make up this decline. I believe the Russell is down more than any other index still. Let's go ahead and pull this down and get a measurement with a ruler really quickly. Just a rough estimate. It's probably about 15%, 14%. Let's just go to current price action where we are right now. 16.78%. So you're in a correction. You get to 20%, you are in a crash, okay? So that's the stock market lingo. And of course on the Russell, we do have our, where is our 233? And where is our 55? We do have a death cross present in every single market crash in history. 55, 233, death cross. We don't have it yet on the other indexes, but it is here. Let's look at our ALMA, our no moving average. So for the Russell to go green again, I mean, look at the synergy here between the indicators. The 1618, the golden ratio phi. You have to flip it. If you flip it, you can go green again. You are in a green trend in the Russell. So that's why this is such a key area of resistance to look at and potentially either short or long depending on how we play with that resistance. And here's the Russell using a couple 45 angles. And again, basic TA concept here, guys. Higher lows. That's what you want to see, higher lows. Severe downtrend? Yes, macro trend is clearly down. Current trend, much like Bitcoin, is higher lows, okay? So this is what you want to see, higher lows. Break this 45 angle, break your demand line, and start moving up. Let's go ahead and go to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same concept here, but notice you don't have a death cross. Now the Nasdaq is below the 55 and 233. Nasdaq, once again, all those tech companies that don't have earnings, they're high, or they have earnings, but they're highly overvalued, trading at ridiculous PEs of 50, 60, 80. There's companies trading over 400 PE, price to earnings, 400. So very, very interesting to watch. As you guys know, Facebook lost the most amount of money ever in U.S. stock market history in a single day, 232 billion, and their PE is still high. It's still, I think, 24 or 22 PE. Absolutely crazy to lose that much money and still be high. And remember, 2021 saw the largest outflow of insider and CEO money, meaning they were selling their positions. Remember, these are not technical traders. Markets near an all-time high or at all-time high, sell. Largest inflow of retail money in history. Largest inflow. Should just tell you something. Remember, the inside guys have a lot of inside information. So this is something we need to keep watching. So the SPX or the Nasdaq, we have to move up. If we don't flip the 233 here, you're pushing this death cross to occur. If that occurs, you can still pump up, guys. But if that occurs, again, precursor to a major bear market. So we will need to see what the Nasdaq can do. It's been struggling and is struggling right now on our demand line. 55 is descending. Let's look at a couple of things here on the daily. Where's our ALMA on the daily? Yeah, I mean, the Nasdaq has to get up high. Look at that, 16,127. The Nasdaq has to really get up a lot higher to be bullish. So anything below this is still going to be bearish. Obviously, you're in distribution. Obviously, you're below your all-time high. Now, that would be a really nice uptrend. I mean, if we start flipping key resistances, I would be looking at potentially taking short or long positions, but for a short period of time. Let's get some fibs on this. Let's just get fib here, swing low, swing high. Go to swing low here, see where we're hitting our head. Let's pull this down to this other wave here. Gives a little bit better view. We made some progress above the 618, and then we descended, and sign of weakness basically, and then we descended back down again. But it is still a higher low. Just something to watch. We're having a big problem with this 45 angle right now. We're getting rejected. Gann was a big angle trader. Below a 45, you are bearish. Above a 45, you could potentially be bullish. Obviously, you can get confirmation with multiple types of indicators as well. SPX. SPX. Now, SPX is sandwiched between the 233 and the 55. And again, out of all these markets, this is the healthiest. I think you're only down about 6.5%. Let's see, current price, 6.12% from your all-time high. So you can definitely, again, that pattern, the SPX is going to stay strong until the very end. Nobody knows what pin will prick the bubble, but The SPX will stay strong till the very end, so you look at your precursors of the NDX and the Russell 2000 especially. What was this down? This was down, I don't know if I just did this or not. I talk so fast, I have so much caffeine in me, I don't remember if I measured this. This is down 13%. So 13% from current price action. So this again is weak. So you have the Russell the weakest, the Nasdaq follows, and then the SPX is very strong. Let's go ahead and look at the SPX again really quickly. We have our fibs laid out here. We're hitting our head, as you can see, quite accurately on the 618. So we are struggling to get back up to the 382. We'll see if the SPX can do that. You're getting some selling pressure, a supply being dumped on you as well. Keeping that higher low concept here in the daily time frame is key. Let's look at the metals before this is like an hour long. I posted this trade in the room. This is a bullish black swan. This is an Andrews pitchfork. It's funny it's called an Andrews pitchfork. I have all of Andrews' original seminar writings from the 80s. He never called it a pitchfork. He was a big believer in median lines. He also developed trigger lines, so I'll show you guys that at some point as well for when to enter and exit trades. But I posted this trade in the room, and this was a nice gain from the black swan. It did it in reverse, but it was about an 8%, 8.25% move up. And then I shorted it up here actually. And this is a almost 4%, 3.8% drop. So we hit the 618 key resistance. Again, look what silver's doing, just like the index is. You got to keep these higher low concepts. You don't want to lose this higher low. If you can consolidate here, start moving back up. The markets being so volatile and so news sensitive, just like the crypto markets, if there's bad news that comes out, you will see silver push back up. And of course, your target here would be 24.90 at the 1 fib. Okay, let's look at gold. Gold, I have a bunch of different TA on gold, but this is my GAN setup that I had because it was tracking so beautifully. I always look at how things actually track, okay, not just how they look. We hit this resistance line on the GAN fan, we got rejected, pumped through it, and we almost wicked our resistance line here on the diagonal, and we got a big sign of weakness. I didn't trade anything here in gold personally because I don't trade between fibs. I trade at resistance or at support. I don't trade in between, so this didn't interest me. But you could see gold, just like silver, keep this higher low structure going. And if it does and accumulates here, oh, it's not very good. If it doesn't accumulate here and the markets start to turn down, you can see gold move up. And that's my target, 1895. I have a lot of different harmonic patterns that are posted in the room. You can see that, but 1895 is a target. 2000 gold, all in that range, would be a nice retracement opportunity for a counter trend pattern, and of course a nice long if we develop a pattern here for a breakout. Guys, one thing I want to show you here. You say, Brendan, you trade Forex, you trade all these different commodities. Do you ever trade oil? I posted a Wyckoff accumulation trade in the room. I made a video for it for the room. Said WTI Wyckoff accumulation again. And in the write-up, I said, go ahead and enter this trade at the 382 down here below the line where we're getting down thrust candles. And those that entered this trade, including myself, check out this play video. This was back when, so oil at the time was $90. We were looking to enter at 88, 89. We got our wicks down that we wanted. We got all the way down to 88.68. And of course, oil went on to make a new 8-year high, almost $96 a barrel. Before the double top, sign of weakness, boom, fell back down with the Russian news as well. Super profitable trade. Full disclosure, oil is the first thing I ever traded. The first thing I ever traded when I first started learning trading, I made a big pile of money and I lost a big pile of money. And part of what I do is teach you guys my mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes in any trading of any asset at all. All right, guys, this video feels like it's probably long. So I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Go ahead and smash the like button for me if you like these videos and subscribe to the channel. Definitely check out our Discord. And SimpleFX, if you are not in the US, not in Canada, you can trade CFDs, all these commodities and stocks and indexes on that exchange. Great bonus structure too. Depending on what you deposit using my link, you can get from like 3,000 to up to, I think, sometimes 10,000, depending on the special they're doing with my link. So it's usually 3,000 to 5,000 instantly credited, depending on what you deposit. You can check them out if you're not in the US and Canada. Looking for an exchange, guys, that I can recommend for US and Canadians because of our tax structure and the people involved in the tax structure. It's very difficult to find one that has the range of options that I want to see that I can recommend. But I'll keep working on it. All right, guys, take care. Happy trading.